We're at day 2 of Next Gen Summit. It's super exciting. We saw yesterday, we met some really, truly incredible people. It's aimed at the next entrepreneurs, founders, the real thought leaders of the future, or of now really. I'm going to meet a guy called Kieran O'Reilly. Kieran owns gifs.com. Check it out. It's animated images and they animate. So if you don't know what a GIF is, Google it. So we're going to meet with these people. We're going to get to know them. Each week you can go onto parlayme.com and you can see we're going to have different interviews with different thought leaders, inventors, entrepreneurs, investors, you name it. We're going to go to global summits like this all the time. We're actually going to Montreal next month and we're going to Startup Fest, so I can't wait to bring you all that content. Really incredible people. Yes, they all are under 30, guys. I know some are under 20. It's a scary thought, right? And some people have had their first exit and they're 17. Go figure. But yeah, we're going to meet them today. It's really quite inspiring stuff, so I can't wait to get started. I'm with Arjun Rai. He's actually the founder of WrkBench.
Hi there.
It's very exciting to meet you, Arjun. Tell me, usually you do fireside chats, right?
We do fireside chats with real fireplaces approximately about every 10 to 12 days.
Right.
And the whole idea is to create an intimate, cozy environment for intellectual conversations. The whole idea behind this is not to say, go download the app because it's cool, although it is. We want to use the application as an excuse, as a venue, a platform to host conversations. So if you and I were talking about, we were talking about Next Gen Summit and how millennials should be working with, older companies, we could be visualizing that. Anything you tell me, I would write down on the WrkBench board or the work board, and any articles you want to talk about, I would drag it in immediately, and you can talk about the article itself from VentureBeat, New York Times.
Cool. So it's like a live time presentation.
Yep.
Really.
Yep.
Where are these fireplaces in New York?
So I actually bring my own fireplace. It's an LED fireplace, but we don't need to tell everyone.
Okay.
But we've done events at the Met Museum, which was
Lovely,
very beautiful venue. We've done events at Google. We've done events at other offices throughout New York. And we also do it at our townhouse in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, lovely.
So we love bringing cool people together who want to talk about different topics related to millennials, entrepreneurship. Staying healthy was the last topic we did. As an entrepreneur, we've done.
Super important.
Yeah.
Super important.
I think one of the most important topics we've done so far is how to stay human on social media. So if you take a look at our generation, many of them are obsessed with technology, and they are so obsessed that they actually don't build human relationships with people. And so we talked about brands and companies as just people being human to other people.
I really would love to, maybe a Parlay Me dinner down the track. We could get involved and co-host or do something together. I'd love to. We do a lot of network with investors, entrepreneurs, startups. So I'd love to collaborate.
We could do a webinar as well. So we do about 2 or 3 times a week. We do fireside webinar chats with a real fireplace too. So there's a fireplace in the back, and I'm usually interviewing a famous author, a famous entrepreneur, investor, and then we go in and out from the app.
It's like you're bringing the old world to the new world. It's like fire.
I'm glad you say that.
With but then it's like all this immersive technology. Yep. So it's very clever.
I'm so glad you say that because WrkBench is all about bringing the art and design into the SaaS or enterprise place.
Right.
So we do want to be the Salesforce and Microsoft, but driven by art and design. It's not just about coding. It's not just about HR. It's not just about operations or finance. It's about the human element. And we definitely believe that we are the world's first art and design-driven tech company.
It's so cool. I'm so glad I got to meet you and interview you.
Very proud to support Next Gen Summit. It's all about supporting millennials, the go-getters. And I actually started the company in college. We raised 2 rounds of funding, and we're about to announce some pretty big announcements coming up. Around for about a year and a half. The whole idea behind WrkBench is to build a visual collaboration tool.
Yes.
Kind of like Iron Man. If you remember in Iron Man where he's navigating the computer without touching it.
Yes.
I basically said, why the heck can't we do that in advertising agencies, in fashion companies, architecture companies, where we're stuck on the wall or we're stuck on the desktop and we're taking photos and writing with ink and taking photos again. So the whole idea is if we give you a virtual workspace the size of this entire conference in your pocket or your backpack, and as soon as you want to collaborate, you want to drag in a design, a script, a document, a video, a PDF.
I mean, it was obviously your brainchild. Like, how did it come about? And you were just frustrated with the lack of kind of tools and
So what happened was this is my third company. I ran an ad agency before this, social media agency, and we were constantly struggling with collaborating in a creative way because we are creatives and visual people.
Right.
And then I actually ended up working at another agency in Soho in New York. Same issue over and over again. I basically said we need to do something about this.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up raising money from some very influential, famous investors in New York. The first guys in Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, and Foursquare, among others. And
man to know.
Thank you. So this is it. This is the work board. Going to be making a small work board for NGS itself, Next Gen Summit. So what we've had up there so far is the logo itself of the event. So you can drag in logos.
Which is like it's on the roof right now.
There you go. It's moving.
We're manipulating this, which is manipulating the roof. That's awesome.
And then I'm going to drag in our logo since we're one of the sponsors of the event itself. Put it over here.
That's so cool.
And then the hashtag, I believe, is NGS216. And so you can see we dragged in images, we dragged in another image as well. What you could actually do is drag in PDFs, videos, and other kinds of documents and be able to annotate them. One really cool thing we have is a laser pointer. So I can say, when doing the conversation itself, I can say we're talking about Next Gen, now we're talking about WrkBench, and now we're talking about the hashtag itself. And all of this can be projected anywhere in the world or locally as well. As you can see on the rooftop, the presentations have been here. This one was one of them, and
I love
this was
the
one of them.
style. Not everyone has as neat writing as you, though, right?
Oh, geez, thank you. So you can see this was Gerard Adams from Elite Daily talking about hustle, entrepreneurship. I brought his website into
You're bringing in real live things as they're happening.
Yep.
This is amazing.
You can see some of the advice he gave us. So he says overnight success doesn't exist really. It's all about a long period of time. He also did one with Patrick from Brand Yourself. And he talks about the lesson of nothing is always secure and that you have to put yourself in all the time.
This is so much better than looking at PowerPoint slide after PowerPoint
slide. The funny thing is I actually pitched this company to a room full of investors yesterday using the app. So I pitched the app, using the app.
So clever.
Yeah, and it was amazing.
Clever.
It was amazing because as they were giving me feedback, I was actually writing down all the feedback live on the slide itself.
So then, can people log in remotely to see it? How does it work? Like webinar kind of format?
So we're building webinar capabilities right now, and so we're asking enterprise companies to sign up for free trials.
Yes.
And that should be out in about 2 months. We have several hundred downloads already for the WrkBench Lite. The WrkBench Enterprise or the Pro Edition is coming out in about 2 months.
So obviously I'm going to write a little bit about parallel. Oh.
So that's the laser pointer.
Okay,
so
that's a laser pointer?
Long
Yes.
press and switch to ink.
Oh, I see.
Switch over,
yes.
there you go. And
wow. Parallel. My writing's not as neat as yours.
Oh, it's fine.
But that's okay.
It's beautiful.
Oh, yay! Yay! It works. I love it. Yeah, my writing. I need to work on my handwriting now. I love it.
I'm going to do a little highlight.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, so cool. You could have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
Whoop. I get too creative. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to you before I hit something I shouldn't. Pull in like a video into it as well. Or
right, that's the Pro Edition. You're looking at the Lite Edition.
Okay, so there's a Pro Edition where you can actually bring in video.
Video, audio. Oh, you can actually bring in audio Post-it notes right now.
Oh, wow.
So the example would be, say we were working on the WrkBench logo and you were a designer.
Yes.
So I can say, put this over here and say, hey, Bob, can you please take care of the TM in this? And Bob could be on our team. And then we can just play it, put it over here, and then play it. And then he would be able to receive the audio note itself and whatnot. And that's it. So
it's beautiful. It literally is like your workbench. It's like you're looking down at what your desk in an ideal world would look like, and your thought patterns and how you go through that.
It's all about humanizing all the desktop interactions or the whiteboard interactions. And you have to keep in mind that this whole board is the size of this entire auditorium in your pocket. So it's a lot of opportunity to work.
It's fabulous as it is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Arjun. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Can I give you a hug?
Oh yeah, let's hug
you.
it out. Yeah, no,
cool.
seriously.
Thank you.
It's so important.
Thank you.
Because these are things that we're going to spend hours and hours sitting in front of, sitting in lecture rooms, sitting in auditoriums, sitting at desks, and the more humanized you can make them, the better it is for all of us at the end of the day. So I have 2 more questions, equally important. Who is an entrepreneur in the world that you look up to, or you're like, OMG, that's the person that I'm like put on the pedestal. Is there someone?
So absolutely, Elon Musk. He's
Yeah.
he's an absolute badass,
Yeah.
go-getter entrepreneur.
He's fantastic.
If you want to talk about CEOs in the world, I went from Virgin Mobile, run by Richard Branson,
Yes.
to T-Mobile, run by
yes.
John Ledger, and I did so because I absolutely think John is one of the most amazing corporate executives who doesn't give a beep
Right,
about saying things or doing things. He's all about the hustle.
Right.
And so I actually had the privilege of meeting him in person at a music festival.
Oh, very
And,
cool, as you do.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I always recommend is how to hack events and
Yes.
and give yourself opportunities to meet people. So I always buy the VIP tickets to Electric
love
Zoo.
Electric Daisy.
Yeah,
Gumball
Electric
and all
Zoo,
that. Yeah,
and
cool.
if you buy them early enough, they're actually the same price, if not cheaper.
Right, or you just get press passes. That's what I do.
Well,
but yeah,
there you go. It's all about the hustle.
yeah.
But
of
so I actually met him. He was just sitting at a table at the VIP tent, and we talked a little bit about the hustle and got some feedback on WrkBench itself.
Nice.
So I look
Is
up-
he an investor in WrkBench? Can
No,
you say, or
he's not.
Mentor.
He's not. But we definitely look up to a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
like John.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so many people who've backed me through the years, and I'm all about giving thank you notes and giving hugs.
Yeah.
And I think that's
I know.
that's
We
important.
hugged it out. Everyone's coming back into the auditorium, so I'll leave my last question really quick.
Sure.
Are you a poker, roulette, or blackjack man?
I actually don't play any of those, but I do play Halo.
Oh,
I love
okay.
video games.
Okay, there you go.
So I play-
everyone's got their crowd.
I absolutely recommend playing Age of Empires if you want to learn
Okay.
about building a company.
Yes.
Because it's all about building a civilization, having an equal balance of soldiers with villagers, and that's really about operations versus
Yeah.
marketing versus engineers who are internal and versus
Absolutely.
people who are external. So if
Absolutely.
you want to learn about building a company,
Yeah.
your kids should be playing Age of Empires.
Oh, there you go. You heard it here, guys. I won't hold against you, don't gamble, but I can tell
Yeah.
you're a high risk taker anyway. Because every entrepreneur and founder is.
Thank you.
You've got to be to
Thank
start
you.
your own business. I'm going to put a link to workbench.io. So workbench.io. I'll put a link, guys. Check it out.
Here it is.
Oh, there it is. There you go. And it's here. I want one of your
Right
cool
here.
t-shirts. I really like them. They're
Thank
really
you.
jazzy. Actually, here with Clinton Senkow, I'm super excited because you have a company called Connected Getaways, and it sounds like the type of company I would actually be interested in looking up and getting involved. So what do you do exactly?
Right. So with Connected Getaways, we're actually connecting like-minded people on luxury wellness retreats around the world. So our guests can actually expect to partake in, have daily workouts, healthy cooking classes. We'll bring in special guest speakers you can learn from, and then we'll do, fun things like surfing, hiking, biking, depending on the
wow.
location. So
Is it like Airbnb with activities? No.
well, it is, and we're starting to utilize just the shared economy, all the accommodations that are out there. The reality is there's the last 6 years there's so many more houses that are coming on the market
Yes.
that we weren't able to rent just anybody anymore. So that's where now with all these really great websites that you can rent some houses. That's what we really want to take advantage of with Connected Getaways and just bring a great group of people together and just have it based around health and wellness, because the reality is there's not enough options to go away, have fun, and do it healthy and do something good for your body. So we really want to change the way that people choose to travel in the future.
I love it. So this is the future. So tell me, how long have you guys been launched?
We have been.
Are you launched?
We have, we're actually. It's been in development since about October of last year.
Okay.
So we're planning our first few trips here coming up in the next few months. Hoping to have one in August.
Nice.
Trying to probably keep it a little bit founder entrepreneur focused.
Very cool.
Bring in an Inc. 500 entrepreneur who is a friend of mine.
Yes.
Bring them in, and we'll do everything that I've already said. And it's a great time to relax, hang out, learn from someone that you're aspiring to be, and
tap into local markets.
exactly. It's all about in terms of locations. The world is our oyster, really.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
it's going to anywhere from Ecuador to Portugal to Peru to Hawaii to Thailand. We really want to go anywhere and everywhere, and we're just still in the midst of finalizing some dates and some locations, but it's exciting, and the response has been really, really good so far.
Oh, and when did you have the concept for this idea? Did it come about?
Yeah, it came about actually last summer when my wife and I were driving back from the lake, and I originally just wanted to kind of bring groups of trips together for people, and she was the one that came up with the idea of encompassing fitness and wellness in with these trips, and I was like, that's a great idea, and I started researching the market, and I just see a huge potential for it, now into the future, and the wellness tourism market is a $500 billion market, which is ridiculous, and it's starting to grow, further. We're all about being preventative now with our health, right? It's
true.
we don't want to rely on going to the doctors, taking the pills. We want to be like, hey, if I have to take that vitamin or I need to eat kale every day, they want to do that, and we want to provide that experience when people travel too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you were here yesterday and you pitched, right?
I does.
Oh,
yes.
So cool.
Yeah, it was great.
And you are holding
yes.
this. Let's get our eyes on the prize. This is the Hustle Award. Now you were awarded this because you're obviously a hustler.
I guess so. I know it's honestly I'm really humbled to receive it and just be recognized with the next gen community, because it's really just a world class community, and it's great to get some recognition as an entrepreneur that that the hard work you put in has paid off. So that's what's really nice.
It's super important. And how many do these give away? Is it one per year?
I think it's one or two. Yeah, I think it's one or two per
really
year.
Special stuff.
It is. So
I need to learn how you hustle, because that's the key to good business. So I have two questions for you, equally important.
Okay.
Who is an entrepreneur or investor, or it could be either, often they're both, that you really aspire to or look up to?
Someone that I'm starting to really follow a lot lately, that I really have a lot of respect for, is Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
So Gary Vaynerchuk is he's very upfront. He works hard. He speaks his word and speaks his mind,
as it is.
Says it how it is, and then honestly, that's what I'm about too. It's just he really puts in the work, and everything that he's really got out of life is everything that he's put into it. So he's someone that I definitely just stay on top of his work and try and aspire to be, and hopefully one day I'll get the chance to meet him too. And say that to his face. So
he's super cool. He's super cool. Okay, now I asked you the question earlier about whether you liked blackjack, roulette, or poker. So I'm going to ask you a different one now.
Okay.
If you could rob a bank, who would you take?
If I could rob a bank, who would I take? Who?
Not endorsing robbing banks, people, but if you...
I would take Batman, because Batman's pretty cool.
He's got some getaway
Yeah, he's got some getamobiles, and he's been shot a few times, and he's okay. His suit's nice and strong, and I'm a Batman fan.
He's a Batman, clearly. Well, absolutely. And look, he's got good hustle as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got good hustle. Absolute honor to meet you. Thank you so much.
You betcha.
And so people can check out your site, connectedgetaways.com.
Correct.
It's launching.
Yeah, launching in the next. You can sign up right now on our email list. It's open, and just by signing up, you'll be able to be notified when we launch our first few trips.
Perfect.
But there's enough information on there. You'll get the main gist of everything, Thank you for this.
To it, guys. Absolutely. Thank you. I'm here with the fabulous ladies of coworkrs. I'm here with Jax Carey and also Laura Matt. It's great to meet you. I hope I'm pronouncing your names correctly. It's lovely to meet you guys. It's day 2. Tell me, how are you finding the summit?
I love it so far.
Right?
I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness. I can't believe how talented these kids are. Yeah.
I know, right? I'm like, they're under 20 and they've had their 3rd exit. Like, what?
Yeah. Every single person I meet is more impressive than the last, and some of them I could have babysat. So it's just like...
I know. When one of the panelists was like, so I was working with Lego doing these things, I'm like, okay, what was that, like 5 years ago? I'm just joking. No, it's super cool. There's really inspiring people here. Mm-hmm. So I'm really actually excited to speak to you ladies, because I haven't spoken to many women at this conference. So it's good to always connect. So you guys have coworkrs. You work from a brand partnerships perspective, is that right? And you're more kind of like the marketing side. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about what coworkrs is.
So we're basically providing workspaces and resources for entrepreneurs, freelancers, even high growth and established companies, with low overhead, and giving them all the resources that they need to grow and succeed.
Fantastic. And you're based in Brooklyn, right?
We have locations in Flatiron, FiDi, Brooklyn, building 2 more in FiDi. We're a startup for startups. We're growing too. So each new location is more tailored because of the feedback of our members. So it's just great growing with our companies and for them.
I love that. And if you don't know what FiDi, guys, is, it's the financial district. And now, are you based just in New York, or where are you based?
Currently, yes, New York, but
I love it.
Not always.
I love it. I love it. So tell me, how do people get involved? What's the membership process? Like, if I'm looking, do I do coworkrs.com? How do I get online and get connected?
Yeah, so we're cowork.rs, and anyone can be a member. You apply. A good majority of people are either entrepreneurs, startups, also normal established companies that you wouldn't necessarily think are in the startup, but they all kind of mesh really well. Like, you could have a brand new clean water startup, and the tax company down the hall helps them do their taxes.
Oh, that's so cool. So there's a lot of like collaborating and cross-pollination.
Yep.
So tell me, because there are a bunch of kind of co-working spaces, if you will, what kind of, I guess, is you feel differentiates yourself in the marketplace from other ones out there at the moment?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So we're not really like a cut and paste kind of company. Some of the bigger companies are just really looking to like scale and just throw some wallpaper up and
fill their office
just
space.
fill it up. Exactly. And so we've taken the time, and everything that we do is very strategic. We want to be able to add as much value as possible for our members.
Yes.
So we're very, very member centric, and just being able to give them like any resources they need to kind of grow their business.
Excellent. So it's very tailored.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh, that's super cool. So what sort of businesses can you speak to? Are kind of your members so far? Are there ones you can call out, or is it kind of just in its infancy? Or where are you at?
So
all your babies are probably the same. You don't want to like call some out. But
well, no, I get so excited. I always follow all them. I handle all the social media for coworkers, so I'm checking their feeds constantly.
Do you sleep?
Never. No, I'm always tweeting, liking, hearting, stalking, like everything on the line.
Wow.
But yeah, so a lot of them, they are constantly in the news. One of my favorites recently are some of our members out of Gowanus Exoprotein. They raised a $4 million round to make cricket protein powder bars, and I had never tried that, heard of it, and it's like I love hearing about these companies that are killing it in industries that I didn't even know were industries.
That's so cool. So do you do like networking nights or anything like that, or is it more just kind of like at their own leisure, they can connect when they feel they want to, or how does it work?
Well, we noticed, there's a lot of different co-working companies that are doing, like fun networking events. And we're like, well, what else can we do? What else can make it like different? So we have our like professional development networking events. We have pitch competitions. We have workshops, and we're looking to build out that programming, based on what our like members like to see.
Absolutely. Oh, that's great. So you're open to feedback and collaborating
Definitely.
and growing. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about, working in, I guess you guys are a startup yourselves, essentially. How long have you guys been around?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, so you're well on the way. But as, the brand partnership person and the head of marketing and social media, what have you found is something in the startup world that we all know that there's challenges and there's obstacles, you have to be super passionate and dedicated, but is there something that you saw and you're like, oh, this is going to be a big roadblock, but actually it was quite easy or simple and it surprised you? Or has it all been an uphill battle?
No,
like with legislation or anything like that?
You know what, I think a lot of the spaces, since we're constantly growing, like Gowanus, for example, we had the top floor built out, then we were under construction with the bottom 2 floors, and we were kind of like, oh no, like our members not going to like that there's occasional construction, but I think because we were so fostering of everything they had doing, they're fostering of what we're doing, and they're so supportive. So the fact that we're there trying to give them everything they need to grow their business, they were very accommodating and
like a caring community.
Yeah, they grew with us. So they were like, we call them the OGs, the people who are originally in the space.
Oh,
so
I love the OG.
Yeah, so they're like, we were here from the beginning. We were all in this together, and so anything that happens to like our company, it feels like it's happening to them too. So
that's so cool. Yeah. I love that. Now, I would imagine you see incredibly talented people come in and out your doors every day. Mm-hmm. But are there 2 more questions? Are there any entrepreneurs in the world or investors or whatnot that you look up to and you're like, wow, that's really kind of gets you up in the morning? And it can be only one. It can be one of your members. You can give a shout out to one of your members if it is, but it could be your dad. People say all sorts of things, don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
that's such a hard one.
I know, there's so many, right?
Yeah. So this actually might be kind of corny. I really look up to my really good friend, Tori.
Yeah.
She's been stuck in like corporate America for a long time. And so she started like doing a side business in like social media and being like an agent for, she actually runs like media for Doug the Pug.
Oh, Yes, that's cute. I've seen that.
It's super cute. And so, but she started this side hustle on her own, and now she's like building her own like media influencer company, and she's literally the hungriest person I've ever met in my entire life. And so, and I get to see her all the time and see like what her struggles and her growth, and she's so young as well. So like watching that is like really inspirational to me.
That's so cool. And so, can we find her? Does she have a website? Does she have a? Can we shout out to her company, or is she a consultant at this stage?
So she's consulting, she's building, but I think her Instagram handle is at Talk to Tori. So
Talk to Very cool. I love it. And what about you? Anyone that stand out? Is there anyone from this summit that you've been like, wow?
The summit? No, honestly, Kieran, who started GIFs.com, I told him this. I literally went up to him and thanked him after his speech because I was going into banking my senior year in college, and then had a blog where literally I put funny captions on GIFs that went viral. And because I made that a sustainable business, that's the only reason why I became a blogger, why I got into social media, why I'm in any of these fields. So kind of his company totally helped it, take off and get popular. So if that hadn't happened, maybe I literally wouldn't be here. So that was really cool. And I just made friends with like his mom in the bathroom, and she was so sweet. And we're both from New York and went to school in Boston. And I was just like, you're right there. It's so weird.
He's super cool. I spoke to him earlier, and I love the fact that he said, most importantly, his advice is have fun. And that obviously comes through in like the business model he has. It's all about having fun and enjoying yourself. So is there an element of that at coworkrs, like an element of seriousness, but also having fun while you do it, right?
We have this like kind of joke. We say like co-work hard, co-play harder. And so we do like we're doing a camp out next weekend with the members. Like
very cool.
Yeah, and we're always like looking for ways to kind of like get together, and we call each other like we're a band of misfits. Like we're from all different backgrounds, but we're all we enjoy each other.
Together you make it work. I love it. Exactly. I love it. Okay, so final question, and probably most important to know: are you a blackjack, roulette, or poker person? If you were going to gamble, we're not endorsing gambling.
I am 100% a poker person. I was a psych major. I love reading people and kind of like also econ. So like reading people, kind of picking up on cues and doing the math and risk reward. That's me.
Poker face. She's watching. She's analyzing. I love it. And what about yourself?
I would have to say poker too, but I don't have a really great poker face. So,
but you enjoy the game.
Yeah, all in.
Yeah, all in. I love it. Well, ladies, it's such a pleasure to meet you guys. So people can check out your website at coworkrs.rs. Okay, I'll put a link, guys.